What's up guys, welcome back to our channel. You're watching the Martin Crew, and if you're new, I'm Alton. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So yes guys, I am back on another project. Today I'll be working on the basement guys. It's been a long time. I have an unfinished basement and it's time to get this thing done. Christmas is coming, we're expecting visitors, we need more space, and I'm just getting it done. Alright, so this is where I'm doing now. The first thing I do guys is to measure the length of the space, because I already bought some wood. I did a rough measurement, but you know these 2x4s at Home Depot are not as long as this space. So all these 2x4s are 8 feet long, and the space that I have there is 11 feet. Right, so that's an 11 by 12 room. So pretty much I need an 8-foot piece of 2x4 plus another extra 3 feet. So I measured the space, measured the piece of lumber, and pretty much cut the additional 3 feet, then put it together to get the entire length that I need. So what I'm doing here guys, I'm using pressure treated lumber for the base plate. You can see the color variation with the nut lumber. The darker one is the pressure treated, and that's gonna go on the bottom of the frame that I'm making, just in case like we have moisture in the basement. If we have a flood or a pipe breaks, then the pressure treated lumber stays solid. Otherwise the other piece would be easily rotten and stuff like that. So I measure the top plate and the bottom plate. They're both short and they both need to be extended. So this is what I'm doing here. I get my measurement. Now I grab my saw, and I'm pretty much gonna cut this piece to exactly where I want it to be. Alright guys, so I've got everything where I wanted. You see it fits in that spot perfectly. That's the top plate that I just cut. Now I'm cutting the pressure treated piece. That's the pressure treated piece that I'm measuring, just to get the additional length that I need, and that's gonna be the bottom plate guys. Alright guys, now that I've cut everything down to size, I'm doing this rough layout now. You can see that's the bottom plate and the top plate right there. Alright, so this is my dog spot. As I said before, I'm giving them eviction notice, and I'm doing a rough layout of everything. So the top plate is right there, that's the sides, and those green pieces are the bottom plate, pressure treated. So industry standard guys, these joists should be 16 inches apart. I'm doing a rough layout and not measuring anything, because I have this tool, this framing tool, that's gonna make my life super easy. So normally I would have to grab my tape measure and measure everything piece by piece, just to make sure they're in the right area. So as you can see, my dogs are here checking out, wondering what's going on. I'm moving their stuff around, and they're gonna be mad like, Dad, what are you doing? So I have everything here framed out, and I'm grabbing my framing tool. Alright guys, so this is my little tool. That's the framing tool there in my hand. It placed these beams exactly 16 inches apart. So with this, I don't have to be walking around with a tape measure and measuring off each of them to make sure that they are in place. All I gotta do is just put this frame over the beam, the top beam, put the supporting joist in the little area that is made for it, and pretty much guys, you can screw or drill, or if you got a nail gun as I do in this case, you pretty much just fire some nails in it guys. That's pretty much it. So here we are, guys. I got my nail gun, the compressor is on and everything. I'm using this nail gun for the first time, and you know, I got my protective glasses on because this thing could blind me. Alright, so that's the frame in place. I have no tape measure. I'm done with tape measure. The only thing I used the tape measure for was to measure the beams. Alright, guys, so it's in place here. All I gotta do, fire one nail, boom, fire two nails, boom, and that just get that side in place, and make sure everything is where they're supposed to be, and then that's it, guys. Fire two more nails, and that's it. That's 16 inches apart already. So all I gotta do now is just move that framing tool, put it from one side to the other, and guys, this frame literally took me 30 minutes to put together. It wasn't that hard. It was pretty fast because I didn't have to be messing around with measurement and stuff like that. All I had to do was move the framing tool from one beam to the next. That's pretty much it, one beam to the next, guys. So here you can see I'm done with the top part, and now I'm doing the bottom part. And because I did a rough layout of everything, it's pretty much boom boom boom, move from one side to the other, and here am I putting in the other piece of the beam, guys. So what I did here, you notice that I have two pieces of wood at the top. So remember when I cut the board, because it wasn't long enough from one side to the next. So what I did, I pieced everything just to make sure that I have the right length. But what I do is I alternate them. So on the bottom I have the joint on the left, on the top I have the joint on the right. That way it can pretty much give us added strength instead of everything falling apart. So alright, guys, so here am I using nail gun up. It's a closer view for you to see everything better. So you pretty much see it there. I pretty much lift the framing tool from one beam, putting it on the other beam, and I did not have to take my tape measure and do anything. That's so easy that is, guys. Again, all these tools will be listed in the description below. It's so easy. None of these cost $100. I think that framing tool is for $50. The nail gun is for $100, and the compressor that I'm using is pretty much, I think I bought it last year Black Friday, because I was gonna work on the basement at that time, but I just didn't get around to doing it. So that compressor has been sitting in my basement for over a year, and I am here using it. So as you can see, it's easy work, guys. Easy work, so easy. It doesn't take any professional person to use it. Alright, so I'm doing the doorway now. It's always best to ensure you got your doorway lined up before lifting the beams in place. So that's the frame, that's the complete frame. All I gotta do now is lift it in place, but there's one final step left, guys. I want to ensure that I left the size for the door is left out. So in this case I'm using a 32-inch door. That way I can easily move furniture in and out. Anything smaller than 32 inches is gonna be a problem, because you can't move a bed through there, you can't move a nightstand and stuff like that. So I would advise, even though the smaller the door, the cheaper it's gonna be, the best case scenario is no smaller than a 32-inch door. Alright, anything less than that, you're gonna regret it. Try moving in a bed through a 28-inch door. To anything smaller than that, alright, you're gonna have a problem. So that's what I'm doing here. You notice no beams are in that spot where I'm standing, because that's where my door is gonna be. Alright, this is pretty much done, guys. I think I'm gonna need some help to lift this into place, but I was out alone. The kids were at school, and I didn't want to wait until they get home, so I'm pretty much doing this by myself. It's very heavy. That's lumber. It's wet. Most of them is wet because I just bought them, and that's it, guys. I'm moving them in place because my ceiling is low. I pretty much has to like be shuffling around the beams in the ceiling and just to get everything in the right spot. And that's it, because I cut everything so tight. I had to use a hammer to slap it in. It pretty much held itself together before I even drove any nails in it. And that's the best way to do it, guys. Make sure it's nice and tight in the sides, nice and tight in the top if possible, but at least the sides, and that's it. It's standing on its own without any nails. So that's what it is, guys. So even though I'm using the laser level to line everything up, I'm going to show you that you can use a bubble level as well to put everything. Make sure it's nice and straight, because you don't want to nail this up, guys, and your wall is lean. All right, you want your wall to be straight up, straight down, so to speak, like a 90-degree. All right, so this is what I'm showing you guys. I have a bubble level right there, just because not everyone can afford a laser level, even though the laser level is pretty much cheap. All right, guys, so this is the bubble level. I put it on the wall to make sure my door jamb is straight, because you don't want to have a lean door jamb. It's going to be problematic when it comes time to putting on your door. So this is it. You check the sides, making sure that you have a 90-degree. You want a 90-degree straight up on this side. So I'm here knocking it over, making sure that it's straight, guys. It's level. So you need a long level for this. The longer it is, the more accurate it will be. Even though if you have a short level, you can use what you got. But after doing all my DIYs, I've done a bunch of DIYs, and I figured that longer level make things more accurate. So that's it, guys. Making sure that it's plumb and nice. It's tight, so once I knock it in place, I know it's not gonna move. So all I gotta do now is grab my nail gun and pretty much fire some nails right around, guys. So I'll be nailing it on the sides, nailing it in the top, and nailing it in the bottom. So the nail gun that I have here can't nail the bottom because the bottom is concrete, but I later bought another tool that I use to fire nails to the concrete, guys. So it fires the nails through the wood and it goes straight into the concrete, and that makes a perfect seal, guys. So that way that wall is going nowhere. Alright, guys, so that's it. If you like what I'm doing here, you like my projects, and you get any value from this, you have any pointers, because I have a bunch more work to do, please drop a comment below. Alright, guys, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel as we do some DIY projects and DIY our family life, guys. So that's it. See you in the next video as we'll be finishing the basement. Peace out.